Hi friends, welcome to Bowl of Light Yoga. I'm Danielle. This is one of my quick go-to practices when I'm short on time. It should probably take about 20 minutes or so. This is great to do before your day starts or as you're winding down and transitioning into home and maybe even before bed. You won't need any blocks, but I like to use a blanket and you might want a couple blocks for low lunges. So to get started, let's just come to Sukhasana, your comfortable seated position here. And we'll find our breath with some arm movements. So if you feel comfortable, go ahead and close down your eyes. And as you inhale, let's sweep our arms up and overhead. Exhale, pull your hands down to heart center. Again, inhale up. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Let's do 3 more of those with your own breath. And this is my last one. Inhaling up. Exhale. If your eyes are closed, you can gently blink them open. And go ahead and bring your hands to your shoulders, fingers in front, thumbs in back. And we're just going to inhale as we twist to the left and exhale as we twist to the right. So move with your own breath. Your pace may be faster or slower than mine. That's fine. Just go with your own breath, what feels good in your body. Make sure this twist is originating from your torso. Try and keep your lower body as still as you can. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep exhale. Deep breath in. Bring your hands to your knees. Retain your breath for just a moment. And exhale. Full deep breath. Nice. We're going to move into a seated cat-cow movement. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see me a little better. So same position, you can change the cross of your legs if you'd like. Palms come to your shins. And as you inhale, you'll go to a cow position so your heart will pull through your shoulders. Chin will lift slightly, but be sure you don't throw your head back. And as you exhale, you'll round to your cat position. Sternum pulls back. So inhaling, exhaling, moving with your own breath at your own pace. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath out. Deep breath in, retain it at the top. And exhale when you're ready. And then take 2 full deep breaths here. Great. When you're finished, we'll move into tabletop position. So if you'd like to pad your knees with a blanket, go ahead and do that. And we'll come into Balasana, child's pose. So big toes together, knees wide to the edges of your mat. And just sit back on your heels as you walk your hands forward. Forehead comes to the mat. And just slow, deep breathing here. I like to move when I get into my postures. Try and see if I can find any more space. Find any areas that might be a little tight, a little sticky, and kind of work into those a little bit. So your postures don't need to be perfectly still if that's not what your body's asking for. So just go ahead and lift up onto your fingers here, so you're like tenting your hands. Lift your head up off the mat. And let's walk our hands over to the right. And then forehead back down for a nice side stretch here on the left. Just feeling that space you're creating in between your ribs with each deep inhale. Let's go ahead and push back up into those fingers again. Walking through center this time. Over to the left. And forehead back down for a side stretch on the right. Try and keep your outer hip here pressing down into your heels. Back up onto your fingers, we'll come back to center. And let's come on up to tabletop. So maybe it feels good to find a little bit of movement here. Maybe rocking your hips from side to side a little bit. When you're ready, you can just find stillness and begin some slow, gentle neck rolls. So we'll just do 3 in each direction. So you can bring your ear to your right shoulder, tuck your chin into your chest, ear to left shoulder, and then gently crown of head to the sky and ear back to right shoulder again. We'll do that 2 more times, slowly. And when you get to the top, we'll switch directions. 3 slow rolls the other way. If you can, try and sync this with your breath. So you're inhaling as your head is coming up and around, and exhaling as your chin is going down and around. And when you get to the bottom of your last one, just return to neutral here. And we'll do a few wrist stretches. So go ahead and just turn your fingers so they're facing your knees. And very slowly and gently begin to kind of just work your hips towards your heels here. Not really trying to sit down, just moving in that direction. Probably not going to be a big movement here. Our palms are staying flat on the mat. Make sure you're breathing deeply. And now you can begin to just bend your elbows ever so slightly, then allow your heels and palms to come up a little bit there. And then you can set your palms back down. And one at a time, turn your fingers so they're facing forward again. And this time, just flip your hands. So your fingers are facing your knees again, but your palms are up this time. We're just going to do one hand at a time here. So one hand is palm down, one hand is palm up. And again, just a very small movement of taking your hips towards your heels here. Let's gently release that. Move on to the other hand. So just flipping it so palm is facing up, fingers are towards your knee. Gently feeling the stretch there in the front of the wrist and the top of the hand. Your fingers in the back of your hand are spread wide and pressing firmly into the mat. And we'll go ahead and release that. Let's inhale, right hand up to the sky. And exhale as you thread right arm behind left wrist. Right ear and shoulder come to the mat. For thread the needle, you can press into your left hand here, or you can walk it forward and begin to twist and look underneath your left arm. Take a peek back at your hip. Notice if it's leaning out to the side, and if it is, just bring it back over your knee. If you are looking out under your arm, go ahead and put your neck back in neutral here. Bring your left hand back towards your face and pressing firmly into your left hand. Let's inhale, right arm up to the sky, and exhale, set it down. Move on to the other side. So inhaling, left arm up. And as you exhale, slide left arm behind right wrist. Thread the needle on this side. Choose your hand variation. If you are looking under your right arm, bring your neck back into neutral. Bring your right hand back in front of your face. And let's inhale, pressing firmly into the right hand. Left arm raises up to the sky. And exhale, set left hand down. Take your fingers forward just a little bit. Fingers spread wide, tuck toes under, and let's press up into downward facing dog here. Take a moment to pedal out your legs. Maybe moving your hips side to side here a little bit. Your body is always telling you what it needs and what it wants. You just have to pay attention. Let's come to stillness. Inhale, right leg up behind us, hips stay square to the mat here. Exhale, pull your knee into your chest. See if you can touch your nose. And then set your right foot down in front of your hands. Left foot drops. Untuck your toes for low lunge here. Take a moment to settle into this posture. Move into your hips. If you like to use your blocks, go ahead and grab your blocks. Let's take a full deep breath here. And on your next inhale, go ahead and shift back to half splits. Straighten your front leg, toes come up to the ceiling. Folding forward over your front leg. Inhale as we come back into low lunge. And as you exhale, bring your hands up to your knee. Or maybe even clasp your hands behind your back here and begin to find a gentle back bend. If you've clasped your hands, go ahead and release those, coming back up to a straight spine. Right hand comes to right hip or block or floor. Left arm comes up and over for a nice side stretch. Make sure you're pressing firmly into your back, into the top of your back foot to take some pressure off your knee. And let's bring left hand to the mat. Right arm comes up for an easy twist. See if you can sink a little deeper into your low lunge here. And maybe you bend your back knee, bringing your foot up and reaching around for a quad stretch. If you've got the quad stretch, go ahead and gently release that. Right hand comes to the mat, tuck your back toes under. Let's step back to three-legged dog. Lift your right leg high, open your hips to the right, and bend your knee here, releasing your hip. Go ahead and set right foot down. Inhale, left foot up, keeping your hips square to the mat. Exhale, pull your knee in, see if you can touch your nose. And then set it down between your hands. Lower right knee to the mat. And settle into your low lunge on the left side. Let's inhale back to half splits. Toes point towards the sky. Exhale, folding forward over your front leg. Let's inhale back to low lunge. And as we exhale, let's go ahead and bring your hands up to your knee. See if you can settle a little deeper into your lunge. And maybe you clasp your hands again. Go ahead and clasp. And then switch the clasping the more unusual way. And see if you can find a little back bend as you sink deeper here into your low lunge. If you've clasped, let's go ahead and release and come back to center. Let's take left hand to left hip here, or block or floor, and right arm will come up and over for a side stretch on this side. Lower your right hand to the floor, and the left hand will go up to the sky for an easy twist here. Again, see if you can sink a little further into your low lunge. This is so great for the psoas muscle on our back leg. And maybe again, you take the quad stretch on this side if that's available to you. If you've got a hold of your ankle, go ahead and release that. Left hand comes to the mat here. Tuck your back toes under, stepping back into three-legged dog, lifting your left leg as high as you can, opening your hips and bending your knee. Go ahead and extend your leg again, square your hips to the mat. Set left foot down. Look between your hands and begin to walk to the top of your mat. Take your feet wide. Heels are on your mat. Toes are off on the floor to the side of your mat. And just begin to bend your knees as you sink down into Malasana, deep yogi squat. If you have a block and you'd like to stay propped up on your block, that's a nice option. Tailbone is heavy, 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 sinking towards the earth. You can use your elbows to keep your legs nice and open, keep them from flaring in. I like to rock side to side a little bit here. Breathing deeply. Go ahead and put your hands behind you and gently sit down. Bring the soles of your feet together. Knees fall wide to the sides of your mat. Go ahead and grab your ankles or your feet here and start to lean back and really allow the weight of your legs here to support your upper body as you just really get a nice stretch through the front of your shoulders, your chest here. Let's come back to center with a nice tall spine. And if you'd like to, you can begin to fold forward. Stay focused on your breath here, focused on the sensations in your body. It's easy to do that when we're moving quickly or, doing postures that require a lot of attention. But when we hold some of the postures at the end of our practice, see if you can still remain focused on your practice, not what's coming later, just here, right now. If you fold it over, press into your hands and begin to walk yourself back up to a seated position. Let's go ahead and stretch right leg out long. The inside of your the sole of your left foot will come to the inside of your right thigh. Find some energy in your foot there. Inhale, find some length in your spine. And as you exhale, begin to walk your hands forward, keeping your heart moving towards your toes for as long as you can, keeping this length in your spine here, and then begin to fold over. Let's begin to walk back up, and we'll switch legs. Left leg out long, sole of right foot to the inside of left thigh. Inhale, find some length. And exhale, keeping your heart shining forward as long as you can. Fold over your straight leg here. If you're in a posture and you find that you can't breathe deeply and freely, find a way to modify that posture. Don't sacrifice the breath. Let's gently begin to walk back up. We'll do both legs here. So both legs out straight, find some energy in both legs. Inhale, find some length. And exhale, begin to walk your hands forward, keeping that length in your spine. And then rounding. Let's gently walk ourselves back up to a seated position. And from here, you can feel free to lie down in Sukhasana for as long as you're able, or perhaps take a seated meditation for as long as you're able. Whatever you choose, this is where I will leave you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.